cycle began for both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. To be honest with you, the negatives it gave for Trump are somewhat similar. They mentioned legal troubles and indictments. It mentioned January 6th. It mentions divisive primary tactics, extreme policy proposals. So this one maybe is a little bit different. It says, during the 2024 election, Trump doubled down on extreme policies, such as suggesting a return to family separation at the border and advocating for the termination of parts of the Constitution. These positions have been viewed as alienating moderates and independents, which could hurt him in the general election. And then the last one is different. It says declining appeal to swing voters. While Trump retains strong support within his base, polling suggests he continues to struggle with suburban voters, women, and independents. These groups, critical for winning the general election, have expressed fatigue over his chaotic leadership style and controversial policies. But for Kamala, they are pretty different besides, I guess, the criminal justice one. So the first one, it said, limited public visibility. Harris has faced criticism for not playing a more prominent role in the Biden administration's public efforts during the 2024 campaign. Some Democrats worry that she hasn't done enough to energize the base or effectively communicate the administration's accomplishments. Concerns over electability. Amid discussions of President Biden's age, there are concerns with the Democratic Party about Harris's ability to win a future presidential election. Some argue that her approval ratings and performance as vice president could hurt the Democratic ticket's prospects in 2024. To me, that sounds a little, maybe that one sounds a little old.
Yeah,
maybe when she first started running.
Before Biden stepped down.
Then it has continued criticism of criminal justice records, so that one's the same. Perceived lack of achievements, this is different. Critics argue that Harris has not successfully distinguished herself with significant policy achievements during her vice presidency, leaving her open to accusations of ineffectiveness. Her portfolio, such as addressing root causes of immigration for Central America, has been seen as yielding limited success. And then its last one, also different, struggles with messaging. Harris has been critiqued for lacking a clear, compelling message during her campaign. Her speeches and media appearances have been described by some political analysts as unfocused or repetitive, making it difficult for her to make a strong case for her leadership. So,
repetition is what politicians are supposed to do. Right. If you don't repeat yourself, that's bad, because most people are not political junkies.
You're not going to
Most
get the message,
you're speaking to haven't listened to what you said before. You should never orient your campaign to people who do nothing but watch the news. You'd be an idiot.
Yeah, but I think when we were doing this, Slugga, because Monica said, what would you get out of it if you put in get 5 negatives for Trump and Kamala?
No. I'm just saying that I'm not disagreeing with what you did. I'm just saying that I don't think that one makes any sense.
I don't know when you came into the. Wait, did you hear?
He came in before.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with what ChatGPT is saying.
Okay. I just didn't know the premise of it.
You can refine even further if you ask only for 5 weaknesses of Kamala Harris after August 1st, 2024.
Okay.
I'm looking at the polls right now.
I always ask for 25.
And Pennsylvania is all even right now. I'm surprised that all of those states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and PA are even. It's very.
Okay, this is Kamala versus Trump debate. Clubhouse.
Those exit polls.
I have a question that might be interesting. If the candidate you're voting for, if you had to sell the opposite candidate, how would you do it? So if you were going to vote Kamala, how would you sell Trump? And if you're voting Trump, how would you sell Kamala?
Strong black woman in leadership.
Wait. Did someone just ask us to sell a black woman to the public? I'm just confused.
This is not great.
You can go to slave route though. I was gonna go. She's got all her fingers.
Fractional shares.
You guys knew what I meant. If you had to convince the other side to vote.
She's great.
I think, to be honest, on the other side of it, if you're a Trump voter wanting to convince people to vote for Kamala, for example, besides her race and being a woman and all of that, if you put that to the side, I don't really think there's much that you advocate for from her as an individual, because she doesn't have really many accomplishments to look pull
Yeah,
back on.
he does.
But I think that you would really advocate for her through things that the Democratic Party stands for. So you would advocate saying, okay, well, women are going to get the right to choose. They're pro-abortion. They're going to make they're going to help with birth control being free for all, or healthcare free for all, or college free for all. Like all these things the Democratic Party already has stated, whether it's her or not, other candidates talk about having these stances. I think those would be the kind of things she would try to advocate for. There's not too much about her as a person besides her race and being a woman.
Melissa, out of everything I've ever heard you say, that was the laziest answer I've ever heard you give.
Thank you, CEO.
I am absolutely shocked by it.
If I would have said it, then I was a woman back.
I'm being honest. If I were to try to advocate for her to someone else, I would advocate for things on the Democratic Party's platform that are not specific to her, because I don't see many things specific to her that would appeal to people besides her gender and her race. Outside of that, there are not many accomplishments to speak of. So you're going to talk about positions that the party already holds. That's how I view her. So I'm being honest.
No, you're trying to sell her to the Republicans.
Hold on. Why wouldn't you talk about her record as Attorney General and District Attorney?
Wait, after she
there would be several things. There are several things that Republicans would love. She had one of the top re-entry programs in the nation. Yeah, she had one of the top.
Don't advocate. Ask her if she can
She had one of the top re-entry programs, recidivism programs in the nation as AG of California. You can look it up. No, it isn't. It's statistically proven. Number one. Number two. Policy-wise.
Just listen. Let her say what she knows about Kamala's record.
Well, I got to run in 2 minutes. I'm just going to give it.
No, don't do that, because then
you're voting Kamala. You're supposed to stop Trump.
Can you just demonstrate that she's ignorant?
Melissa was trying to do it sounds like is demonstrate that most of Kamala's supporters are ignorant, honest.
Y'all are acting like children. Like, you guys are question.
The policy.
Her question is her assessment that we're criticizing.
50,000 for small businesses tax credit, 25,000 for first-time home buyers.
That's a lot of money.
None of this speaks to leadership, CEO.
She's also pushing border security as well now. And she has an 82-page economic plan. Melissa, what I am confident knowing you, here's what I want you to do, Melissa. Go pull her 82-page economic plan, put that in ChatGPT, and say, as a Trump supporter, what are some of the economic policies from Harris's plan I might like? And you will get answers from that, Melissa.
None of this speaks to leadership.
The flip side of it, one last thing, just trying to do that one last thing. The flip side, one last thing. One last thing. If I were to give, the Trump talking points, I could give the Trump talking points all day long.
You're missing the whole point of the art. You're missing the whole point of the exercise. It's to hone your debate skills. That's why I asked.
Yeah, 1 second.
And I could give the Trump.
You're ruining the conversation, bro.
I'm done in 8 seconds.
Repeating.
You don't need them to demonstrate your knowledge. She's supposed to demonstrate her knowledge.
I know. I'm done in 8 seconds.
So why are you doing all this?
Let me just land. So I could give
having birth from an ostrich.
Just land, I could give the Trump talking points all day.
All right, we got it. You know what you're doing.
I will drop a positive Trump tweet. I will give a positive Trump tweet I just did recently in the chat.
Ben Mendelsohn and come back when you're better.
Yeah, Brad is trying to keep.
Really
calls out Melissa and then does all the work for her. What is the point? Why would you call her out?
Melissa has a debate
point. A lot of y'all rank low on the ethics scale, and I struggle to look at other points of view. So that's why I think it's a good question.
Hey, you heard me talking, right?
God's people,
you heard me talking there?
God's people, take a second. And
Nicholas is a colorless Kate.
Point of view.
Kate.
What they're preaching, right? So go ahead.
I got a lot of you fucking, guys that are now Kamala people. You guys constantly do this. You're like, I for 3 years said all this shit about the Dems. I hate them. They're bad. You came in the conservative spaces. You did this shit. Then you just went at Melissa like CEO did. He didn't offer her lead prosecution case. Oh, wait, she doesn't have one. She didn't argue in front of a jury. She didn't have a big stellar victory. In fact, she was wrought with corruption. Most of her stats are manipulated because they were cherry-picked test subjects. That was basically all she did. She took a poll of 80 and go, look at my recidivism rate. It's pretty good because I picked the 80 most prominent candidates and ignored the rest of the population. She did stupid shit like that. Her green energy work in San Francisco and all that other shit. Yeah, she went after a mom and pop shop and had her office go ahead and do that. But guess what? She didn't clean up the Superfund site. She didn't stop all the other ones. And when a whole group of citizens turned out to have cancer and got sick in a building that was built over a toxic site, she ignored it. And it was proof positive. This is why even the greenies on the left in California, they're not fucking thrilled with her. That's why they pull away from her. You guys don't even know your own damn candidate, and you're trying to school Melissa, and you don't even know what she's accomplished. And all you're doing is spouting DNC talking points, so you can hand it off to Thugger to do that shit for you.
Brad wants y'all.
I think y'all are missing the point of why Democrats are brought up by Adler. I think it's actually a very interesting perspective to be able to take a second and be like, why might someone else look at it?
No, we're not criticizing the exercise.
So
we understand the exercise, bro.
Y'all are just too quick to look at
We're criticizing Melissa saying that she has no accomplishments.
I know you can hear me.
Why are you lecturing us, bro? We understand the exercise.
Essentially, right? It does. If you could just take a second, concrete, to
we understand the exercise. Did you hear Melissa's response?
You know what they say? You have 2 years and 1 mouth for a reason.
Nicholas, did you hear Melissa's response?
I didn't have any issues with Melissa's response.
Okay, that's the problem.
I wasn't attacking.
You think that this woman, after a career in politics, has no fucking leadership skills?
Okay, but that wasn't the point of Ashley's exercise. I wasn't responding.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all do what you want.
Yeah, Melissa's supposed to be holding. We're supposed to hold Melissa's feet to the fire on that ridiculous ass point, which is what I thought CEO was trying to do. Instead of grandstanding.
The point in the first place.
Listen, if somebody offers the position that there's nothing positive to say about this person, other than they're a black and they're a woman, then obviously you can let that stand, or you can contest it. I'm interested in contesting that. Are you interested in contesting that, Nicholas?
No.
That's not the point.
All right, great.
That's not the
All right,
point.
so I'm interested in contesting it. Does anybody else want to contest it? Listen,
Contested her.
You're
no, that's not the point.
Is that a fuck? You're
That's
contesting
not
her
the
ignorance.
point of this.
Yes, we're contesting her ignorance. Yes.
Or you're
I'm not doing yelling anymore. I'm not losing my voice again. So when you guys,
Yeah, nobody's asking you to do that. Can you
well, you're
not
yelling,
make bad?
so
I don't care. So the whole point, all right, just be quiet. Just don't do the over talking. Just do the over talk. Don't do the over talking. You won't get the
You're
yelling.
the one
It's real
that's
simple.
mentioning my
So real quick.
I can't even talk because you're.
Yeah, just shut up,
don't
bro.
bother
Just shut up. Stop
entertaining
over
the
talking.
list.
Yeah, just don't do anything intellectual. Just be like
You'll
just
never
a silly
do
Karen.
anything.
Just be a silly Karen.
Just let them do
Be a silly Karen. That's all you gotta do. Just be quiet. So the whole point is shut up.
Well,
So the whole point is shut up. Yeah, now your turn. 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 Now your turn.
Don't mention my name if you don't want me to respond.
Yeah, so real simply, now your turn. Now your turn. So you got to question the person's. Shut up, child.
Stop
Fucking
mentioning
child.
my name.
Relax, child. Relax. Yeah, just tell her shut up. Just tell her shut up.
Stop mentioning
Tell her to shut up, bro. Just shut up. I got a mod. I got Nicholas. I got everybody trying to contest this issue. Just tell her shut up. That's all you gotta do.
Stop mentioning people's names.
All right. Fuck your name. Yeah, so Melissa said some dumb shit. Shut up, fuck your name. Fuck your name. Fuck your name. Melissa said some dumb shit.
Don't mention my name.
Melissa said some dumb shit. Fuck your stupid name. Melissa said some dumb shit.
Don't mention my name if you don't want me to respond.
So obviously, shut up, you child. Shut up. Shut up, child.
I'm not interested in a conversation.
Shut up, you child. Be quiet whilst I speak, you child. Please shut up. Please be quiet.
Well, how about you
You're
stop
so stupid,
him from
Florida.
doing this because he's not
Is Florida even a mod anymore?
conversation.
Yeah, he's still a fucking mod. He's like being a whole Be quiet, Melissa. Just tell her be quiet. Just tell her be quiet.
Going to get
be quiet, Melissa.
My voice.
Be quiet, Melissa. Just be quiet, Melissa. Be quiet, Melissa. It's not your turn to speak, Melissa. Wait your turn to speak, Melissa.
Saying something.
Wait your turn to speak, Melissa. So, here's my turn. It's my turn, Melissa. It's my turn, Melissa. It's my turn.
Scream and talk shit about people. That's all you want to do.
It's not your turn.
And my point was, if you want to have
it's not your turn
an
either.
actual conversation, then you should let people talk. You don't just continue to mention their name and talk shit about them and scream, trying to make them scream and lose their voice again if you want to have an actual conversation. So I do have reasons for what I said, and I was answering Ashley's question, her challenge, if you want to call it that, of why or how I would try to convince someone to vote for Kamala. And in my personal perspective, from what I know of her, I would try to use things that are already part of the Democratic platform. I would use things like abortion when trying to talk to women. I would try to advocate to them that they would have a choice, for example, and how that's a good thing. Even if they were pro-life, for example, I would try to advocate to them how there may be free college, free education, how that could be a good thing. I would advocate to them about free health care. If I were speaking to someone who was an elderly Democrat, for example, there are so many different things I could use on the Democratic platform to try to advocate to them about how that could be a better personal decision for them. But in terms of Kamala's personal accomplishments, just simply becoming Attorney General is nothing special. In fact, it's relatively lackluster in terms of political accomplishments for most politicians, and it's nothing notable. Her being a Black woman would be actually notable. That would be something special, as she's the first Black woman to even become vice president or to attain the Democratic nomination. Those two things would be notable, and those two things would appeal to some people. But in terms of her time during being Attorney General, which is what somebody contested about what I said, there are many things that are problems with that. For example, she's been accused of being reluctant when it came to reforming criminal justice. Many saw that she opposed legislation that would make her have to investigate police shootings, which made some people question her intentions when it came to actually wanting to reform that.
Wouldn't it be your job to frame those in a positive light and argue on behalf of specific?
Well, I think that Republicans appreciate transparency, and they would appreciate someone who's an attorney general who would be doing their job properly, and simply just opposing legislation to reinvestigate a police shooting if it would result in, the truthful outcome or the correct outcome, I don't think would be appealing to many Republicans. I think they would want the truth to come out, and they would actually advocate for that if I could see an innocent man or woman be released from either prison or from whatever charges they faced. Another one was that she actually said she was, when it came to wrongful convictions, she didn't want to reopen cases, even though there was a lot of, some of them had a lot of DNA evidence available, and she didn't want to reopen that. And again, when I speak to conservatives or Republicans, they would be interested in reopening a case if there was evidence proving that this man or woman was innocent. Because again, most conservatives want transparency when it comes to something like this. Conservatives don't want the wrong person to be put in prison. So it wouldn't be something that would advocate for them to, that would be a good point to advocate to them of why I should, you should vote for this person. Because they would say, okay, well, she can't be truthful. She doesn't want to reopen these cases, even though we have evidence that may, prove the innocence of this person and set them free. Instead, she wants to leave them in prison. That's not going to be something that appeals to them. And also, there's actually a lot of conservatives that want marijuana to be legalized. And she actually opposed back in 2010 an initiative to legalize recreational use for marijuana. So I don't think that would be another thing that would be a positive for her being Attorney General. And further, the last thing I would say is that she, back, I would say it was early 2000s, 2010s, her office as Attorney General did not want to release nonviolent offenders. Instead, they wanted them to continue to be used for prison labor because of all the fires that were going on in California, because California uses a lot of the prisoners to deal with cleaning up wildfires and things like that, instead of releasing people that maybe were overpopulating prisons and maybe had very simple offenses. Again, I don't think that we would advocate to conservatives to release someone from prison to not release someone from prison who's a nonviolent offender if maybe the prisons are becoming overpopulated and you have violent offenders who you can't put in prison because it's too filled with nonviolent offenders.
Against your point.
So there you go. Well, you asked me my reasons, and I have my reasons. There you go.
Right, you have your reasons, but because it's a counter-apologetics exercise, the whole idea is how would you stop yourself from saying, hey, the Republicans would already know what you know in terms of the criticism, instead of just like what they have done, present it to the world as if it's an accomplishment, as if there's huge accomplishments, and leave out the criticism, right, as a technique. But that's what I mean.
Don't bring up.
How do you exercise the opponent's point of view in the best limelight? Not what are your reasons for not doing so.
And remember, you're selling it to your party. You're selling this to your party. I'm just trying to clarify.
Oh my God.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, all right, can I go now? Thank you. So it's obviously ridiculous to think that being Attorney General is a nothing position for California, which is probably like one of the most. It's almost like its own fucking country. Right? It's 30 fucking million people. It's got fucking billions of dollars in GDP. It's got tons of powerful fucking industries. And to think that being the fucking person who is in charge of law and order to a certain extent is not a fucking impressive position. And that her being a Negroid is more impressive. That alone just tells you how ridiculous and how just brain dead Melissa's being on this topic. You should be offended, Pope, black woman, who is being assessed to be more beneficial for your color than for your accomplishments professionally.
Yeah, you better leave me alone.
I'm not bothering you. I'm just telling you what it looked like.
To Ashley's point,
don't go after my daughter.
Thank you, Brian. No,
because Ashley
said just a notice, nothing more than that. Because, does Melissa understand that there's black women who are listening to this stupid fucking statement and they're being basically valued less for the work that you do than the color that you are?
Concrete,
that's crazy as shit.
People will base vote on skin color too. Some people just use that metric.
I'm talking about what people will do.
I don't know, because you're criticizing her for mentioning that she was a black woman and criticism.
No, that's not the criticism.
I know, but why are you levying it? Did you hear what I said?
Oh, I'll say it again. She thinks that her blackness is more important than her attorney generalness.
And so do a lot of voters, is my point.
So what? We know
because we're arguing on how to benefit that person, the opposition.
I take it that if you're in a conversation with somebody with a semblance of intelligence and it seems to be aware of the topic, that they wouldn't use
presuming that.
The arguments. No, it's not a presumption. It's an evaluation based on the evidence being presented. You know what an assumption is? It's a belief held without evidence. It's a belief held without evidence. Do you understand? I don't know what's going on. It's weird. All right. Listen, this is obviously a room filled with fucking weird-ass dudes that want to just defend weird-ass people for whatever reasons. That's fine. I don't know why y'all do it. It's a separate issue.
So, Ashley, can you ask me the question?
Well, Ashley pointed out something earlier, by the way.
It's about finding out if you are a decent debater, because you know what? Some of the best debaters can debate points that they completely disagree with 100%. So if you're always just advocating for the things that you know and the things that you are truly knowledgeable about, then that doesn't make you a great debater. It just makes you good at spewing facts.
And that's what you were saying, Asha, and that's what I was going to address. Because she responded to me earlier, right, when I was criticizing Melissa, because Melissa was bringing it. And so my point was, if Melissa then could bring down all of those negatives that she did, it would then be incumbent on Melissa to then run a counter narrative against those criticisms also. She would have to meander back down, make the criticism, and then re-highlight why the criticism is empty and show a positive of these things.
No,
to convince her party.
I was asked, the question, the challenge was, how would you do this? I just simply said how I would do it.
Okay, so here's what I think Ashley is actually trying to get at. All right, so let me argue the Trump talking points, right? So here's going to be the economy since I left office has pretty much, inflation has been sky high. I understand that your family is suffering, and we want to, voting for Trump means getting things back to normal, to a place where you're not, getting sticker shock every time you go to the grocery store, allocating a lot of our resources back into our domestic population compared to, sending it overseas. I hear you. I understand that you're suffering and you're not progressing well, and I'm going to make changes because I feel you are being neglected as a local citizen, right? Okay, now I'm going to switch and do the Kamala talking point, right? So here's Kamala, right? So overall, the economy under Joe Biden has outdeveloped and outperformed the rest of the developed world. I understand that you're struggling, but I have a plan in place to make sure that we are contributing back to you and your family through blah, blah, blah programs to help with childcare, to help with, healthcare costs, etc. We have, capped the price of insulin for those people under the Biden administration. They have also kept a lot of the Trump tariffs in place because we understood that some of them did have benefits, and even expanded them because we have you in mind, and we are hoping to continue serving the domestic American public. A lot of our tax cuts and taxing the rich incentives is to shift some of the burden on federal spending to the 1% who got a significant amount of reduction under the Trump tax cuts. I understand as well that you got some, but the vast majority of the benefit went to the top 1% of the country, and we don't think that's fair. We think that we should serve the middle America of this country, yada, 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 right? Like, the fact that you people can't do both is a problem, right? Like, you should be able to argue the positions on both sides of the aisle and understand what other people are coming from. I just don't think it's that difficult. Her question was not that hard.
No, you can't defend.
But you guys are missing the question, though. She said, how would you convince someone from the other side to vote for the opposing party? I said,
you're trying to convince your party. You're trying to convince your party.
Yes, Ashley.
Yes,
I wouldn't
you're trying to
use
convince Republicans.
Yes,
to vote
I know,
for
Ashley. I understood it. I wouldn't use things that I don't think would convince them. Like I put in the chat, it's not you. If you're going to look at all the things about a candidate, you're not going to take the thing that you think is going to be the most negative as your talking point to try to convince someone who's of the opposing party. You're going to take the most positive things that you think are the most likely to convince them. That's not to say that I couldn't possibly try to defend her record as an AG. I could, but I don't think that's the most likely thing to convince someone, and that's my opinion. You guys can have different tactics. You asked personally, how would you do it? I gave you my answer. I don't see why that's my answer somehow wrong, but that's how I would do it.
Yes, your answer sucks. And my answer is there's nothing to defend her about because she's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, there you go. Another bad answer.
That's the problem. If you guys don't see it, I don't know what to tell y'all. She's the worst person to ever run for president. This is
Look, at least I gave reasons why I wouldn't use her record as AG. I gave reasons. I didn't just say blank.
But you can hate Trump.
You don't know what
management is. Nothing to do with Trump. This has everything to do with her, and she's just dumb.
This is a guy who, in a foreign policy
and say you're a Christian.
He asked, why can't we just nuke these countries?
You're at the wrong rally or something.
Red Brown, you're not
This is a guy who
Cora, stop talking.
didn't know that Finland was our ally.
Control your autism, Cora.
Was part of Russia still. This is like
I have no intention of controlling my autism.
autism because my autism is
Cora,
such
your
intelligent and
autism. There's nothing
seething
to defend Kamala
outside
about.
of the fucking normal narrative.
Melissa gave her answer, and you guys are attacking her, calling her stupid. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
I'm not attacking Melissa, but
Yeah,
you
she gave
are
a stupid answer. Sorry, bro.
right now.
She gave a stupid answer.
No,
She thought that her blackness is more important than
she was arguing the context. You prefer to argue the context of the Democratic Party. There's other ways to argue on behalf
Right,
of the
there's
left.
nothing to argue for Kamala. I'm sorry.
She says she's
There's
not
nothing to argue for.
Well,
qualified.
I'm not saying for Kamala, but one that would favor push people over the edge with Kamala, such as like Margaret Atwood's *Handmaid's Tale* and the idea of the adjacent biblical or evangelical left that comes in right through Vance, through Project 2025, and in tandem with Roe v. Wade being kicked down as an indicator that women's rights are becoming more variable and something like that, right? So you could argue why it is a position is not the case in the same way that Melissa could argue points for the Democratic Party per se, but not Kamala per se. And so it's interesting how things.
Yeah, this pretending like anyone like diminished the office except Donald Trump is, I don't even know what we're doing. To say like Kamala is somehow less qualified to run for office.
Don't even entertain it, bro.
No, but
It's just like,
you hear her when she talks, Louis, like, I can't
It's such an argument, bro.
But, like, do you hear her when she talks? Like, do y'all hear it? Or
have you heard
like,
anything, Trump? Wait, did you hear Trump's response?
Trump's
to,
been president,
Trump's
been president. You can't argue
Oh,
that.
so you can't sound stupid if you've already been president.
You're not going to let me
Good
ask my
job.
question.
Doesn't make, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
All right, I'll let you finish, but I'll ask my
To
question
me,
when you're
Trump
done.
sounds like a total
years of his
idiot.
presidency.
Wait,
Yeah,
Red Rum,
See how it
can I
goes
ask
with
you a question?
Trump? I'm not talking about Trump. Stop bringing Trump up. I'm talking about Kamala.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about
Kamala without bringing up Trump.
Because your statement was she's the worst person.
Kamala without bringing up Trump.
Red Rum, are you able to have a conversation without
That's
spazzing
the
out to
issue with
someone
y'all.
else
You
talk?
can't defend
All right,
Kamala
I'm going to let you talk, but can I talk after?
Shut up.
No,
Red
don't
Rum,
you
can I
shut
talk
up,
after
Cora.
you talk?
It's facts. You guys can't defend Kamala without bringing up Trump.
Are
And
you
that's
going
a fact.
Are you going to shut up when I'm talking? Okay. Well, the reason we bring Kamala and Trump is because this is a presidential race, right? It's a for all intents and purposes, it's a two-party race, right? So when we're making comparisons, if it's not Kamala, it's going to be Trump. If you're saying, Kamala is the worst, she diminished the office of the president, or
that's not what I said. I don't know why you're saying things.
You're saying she's unqualified, like she's like diminishing the how do I say, the quality of the candidate that runs for president, right?
Okay.
And then she rambles. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
What does that have to do with Trump?
Yeah. Did you see when he was asked?
Why are we talking about Trump again?
When he was asked about specific policies that he would enact to help new families.
But I'm not talking about Trump. So why are you bringing up Trump?
Did you hear what his response was?
No, but why are you bringing up Trump?
I'll find the clip and I'll drop it. And if you want to talk about who rambles and talks about nothing, do you know what Trump's economic policies
are? You see my point, y'all? Did you guys see how my point where they can't defend Kamala without bringing up Trump?
What are Trump's economic policies that you're so excited about?
Proof right here.
What?
That you can't defend Kamala without bringing up Trump.
What you're saying she's the worst person? You're saying she's the worst person?
I can sit here and defend Trump and what he's done without bringing up Kamala's name. But you can't defend Kamala without bringing up Trump.
She doesn't know
what
she's talking about. She's unqualified. You're
a good salesman can sell anything. That's the point.
Criticize Trump if you wanted to.
No, I can't criticize Trump. I've criticized him on a lot of things. There's things I'll criticize him on a lot of things. There's a lot of things I criticize Trump on. But the point is, Louis, no one's talking about Trump, though. That's the thing.
Because for you to open your mic and say she's the worst candidate to ever
defend her without bringing up Trump.
Not only factually wrong, it reveals like a sort of bias that's like
it's like an infection in your mind that I don't think anyone could like.
No, go ahead. How
if
am I
that's
wrong?
what you're actually saying unironically, then it's like, dog. Like,
no, but how am I wrong?
This is why you should argue the counter position. That's what this whole point was. This whole exercise is arguing the counter position. So if you can't do it, then you're just fucking trying to convert people to politics.
Yeah, I agree. Look, the thing with Harris is she's been vice president, she's been an AG, she's been a district attorney, she's been a senator. That's a lot of qualifications for someone running for president. I don't understand what the lack of qualification is.
CEO, you're supposed to be arguing for Trump if you're voting for Kamala.
Oh, I'm arguing for Trump? Oh, okay.
Yes, it's the opposite. That's the whole point of the exercise.
I got off the phone. I got off for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the whole point of everything is
like
to.
A paper towel.
Yeah.
Wait, we're doing some opposite shit.
Okay, so the Trump argument is that.
And you're selling it to the Democrats. I'm just reminding you. You're selling Trump to the Democrats and Kamala to the Republicans.
I got it. All right. So in February 2020, 90% of Americans said they were satisfied with their lives. It's the highest percentage in the history of America. So if you want to see that sort of happiness again in this country, vote.
That's the first one I heard that guy speak.
And then the counter.
But I want to point out, do you guys see how he chose to use what he saw as the most positive thing to advocate for Trump? He didn't have to detail everything about Trump and how that's why you should vote for him. He picked what he saw as the most positive points. Ashley's question was, how would you convince someone on the other side to vote for this ex-candidate? Not defend every single thing about them.
And I'm with Louis where he wouldn't with Trump and I wouldn't with Kamala.
He has not released a platform, y'all. Go for it.
Yeah, give me an argument. I want to do it. Come on.
I would do it.
Wait, are y'all like against Trump? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, so I'm for Kamala. Let's rock.
I'm for Trump, but I'd argue again to try to convince the left, and that I would mention that Trump's statement on abortion specifically, so I would choose this topic, right, that a lot of women are concerned about the Trump relative to their autonomy, their body autonomy, but that Trump's actual position on abortion aligns at roughly 5.5 months, right? And that's restated again and again, despite the party that's around him. And so that he is not a threat to women per se. He's not a monster, and he's not attempting to belittle them, although his personal life would bear out otherwise. I'm saying his policies should not negatively affect the left.
No, you know what's funny is I can tell people why they shouldn't vote for Trump easily than telling people why they should vote for Kamala. That's the funny part.
Okay, Pedro.
I can name so many negatives on Trump, way more than I can name any positives on Kamala.
That's not the point. The point is to sell something you don't truly believe.
That just means you don't have good neuroplasticity.
No, there's no positives about it.
Record petroleum and American petroleum and oil export increase.
Let's just all vote for Trump, okay? Let's just all vote.
Like you guys want to all the bad things that come with the Biden administration. You want to cast that upon Kamala, but what about the successes, right? That goes to her too, right? So all the successes of this under this administration, like you could credit that to Kamala, right? If you're being consistent.
Define. Please be clear. Be explicit.
No, the problem with that, Louis, is that when 79% of the country believes we're on the wrong track, it's just driving up the hill.
According to it's like a polar, like.
Yeah, I mean,
you're giving me a percentage, so I automatically think stats or poll or something.
Yeah, well, let's just act like what I'm saying is factual, right?
Why would I do that?
I just want to tell you don't see all the positive about her,
what's wrong with the question
I don't know what
just
you're trying to tell me.
Why would I pretend?
There's nothing positive about her.
Like it's not true.
I'll give
I'm just asking where you're getting that number from. That's all I'm asking.
So I'll
it doesn't have to be a thing.
So just real quick, yeah. So I could just air this out with Louis. Hey, Louis, like in the interview with Brett Baer and Kamala Harris, this is one of the questions that was asked of her, right? And that's the reason why I'm asking that question, because she kind of fumbled that. But anyways, if 70% of the people believe we're on the wrong path, why are they better? Why are they not? Or what was it again? Oh, it was, why would you say they're better now than they were 4 years ago? That was the question I was posed there, bro. So if we just use those numbers and that's true,
and
right?
Said she fumbled the answer. So what was the response? I'm curious.
It doesn't even matter. The point I'm making,
what do you mean? She said she fumbled the response. Jesus Christ. Okay.
And the reason why it doesn't matter is because she's already distancing herself from this record. The reason why that's a hot topic is because they're asking her, what would you do different? And the only reason why you would ask that question is because what's going on right now isn't actually good. So she has to distance herself. She answered the question, what negatively do you say about Joe Biden? Her response, I'm going to keep with the traditions of not bad-mouthing the president. Then they asked her again, what would you do different? Now she's saying, look, we're different people. We'll have a new vision, a new way forward.
Which is intuitively true. I feel like anyone who's like good faith would be like, yeah, they're probably different people. Like we understand, like you guys want to call her a DEI hire. Like the only reason she was hired was for the base that she could reach or whatever. Well, if that's the case, then
no, but that's Joe Biden's problem, right?
If that's the case, then we can only stand to assume that maybe there's some policies that they differ on, right? The vice president, for all intents and purposes, again, is only a figurehead, really. It's like a ceremonial position.
Bro, Joe Biden came out and said, I am looking at 5 women. It's going to be a woman. And then a month later, I have 5 black women. And then after that, first black vice president.
And they're not fully lockstep with policy. One can only assume that they're going to differ in some policy stance on some policy stances. But that's just what it is. Biden holds he's in the driver's seat, right? He's the president.
Right, but she's not saying what she would do different. When Mark Cuban was asked this question, what would she do different? Mark Cuban couldn't answer the question. When Shapiro was asked this question on Sunday, what is she doing different? He couldn't answer the question. And the reason why they can't answer the question is because she can't answer the question.
Exactly.
It's a really easy question to answer. Do you want me to answer it?
CEO, are you Kamala though?
Go ahead, CEO. No, hold on. Go ahead, CEO.
Okay.
Hold on. You have to attempt to answer the question without pooping on Biden.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, so she's got a number of different economic ideas that Biden did not think of that will continue to push the economy forward. The truth of it is America has grown more the last 4 years than any other player in the world. 10% GDP growth, 3 times the average of other G7 countries. So specifically, things like the small business credit idea to continue to spur America's innovation, which is our differentiation, to continue to accelerate that, to give Americans more access to be able to buy homes if they're first-time home buyers, and to continue to find bipartisan solutions. She's already grown on things such as the border, as well as not taxing tips. So she will continue to innovate, come up with new ideas that the Biden administration had not thought of.
But you already pushed on him twice. You pushed on him for the first time of him not being able to think about it. The response immediately is going to be, why didn't you do this in the last 4 years? Then you're going to try to highlight all of the progress that they've actually made. So then why would you run away from Joe Biden's administration if it's so good and you get this large economy and all these things are sunrises and flowers?
You are pointing at Samoa. You are absolutely correct. Samoa just said something absolutely correct. And this is the thing most people are missing. The View asked her the worst possible question they could have. Because if she had answered the other way and said, here's 4 things I would have done differently, then people would say, why didn't you do them?
So that question in of itself is a trap. There is no great answers. So you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, any question that tries to divvy her from her current administration, like it's always going to be a tricky question, right? That's a given. Like you're forcing her to criticize Biden and her current administration. Like this.
No, this is what I would do, bro.
It's always going to be like a slip.
Nobody cares what you would do.
No, this is what I would do, right? This is how I would respond to the question. I would say, look, we have a new generation. We have the world stage is different with all the pressure that was put on the world by dictators like Russia and North Korea and China. The cards have been reshuffled. What we have to do is reset, recalibrate, build off of what we've already done, but create a new path through technological advancements, through economic diplomacy, and through cooperate, whatever the hell, I don't know, but do something like that. I mean, what the hell?
You want her to use colorful language like J.D. Vance or something?
No, that's not colorful language. It's about saying that the world is different now, so we can't use what we just did in the last 4 years because the template has changed. And then draw all the reasons why it's changed from the foreign policy, from bad actors, from dictators, from autocrats, from from corporations manipulating the markets, whatever. Do that and then say, we're going to bring new people in so we can reformulate a plan, recalibrate, and we're going to attack it on day one. Let's go. Remove Orange Man. Right? Easy money.
So, Brad, you there?
I don't think Brad's... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah. So, can you come up with a better analogy than the one you came up with the folded wet paper towel? I was very disappointed in you. You normally have good analogies.
I thought that was pretty good. I thought you just folded wet paper towel.
No, wet paper towels, like, you don't fold them. I mean, who the heck does that? It doesn't even make sense.
I'm on board. Yeah, that's a weird one, Brad.
It's completely stupid.
I'll give me some time.
That's like saying, like, that it's about as old as and rotten as yesterday's jam. It's like jam lasts for ages. So yesterday's jam means.
I don't know about you guys, but I use folded wet napkins after I eat some pretty messy, sticky fried foods. Just saying.
You said messy what?
Like sticky foods. Like hand food.
CEO, this would be an interesting
time. You go to KFC. Now that you want to be liberal.
Sticky though.
Wait, hold on. I want to find out from you. So now that you've left the conservative side, does your cycle not sync up with the women?
What about the women, Brad? Say again.
Does your cycle now start and sync up with the women that are on the liberal left?
Good job, Brad. That was much better. I like that. No, so that you know, I'm voting for 6 Republicans and 3 Democrats this cycle. So I don't think most people would classify that as.
But you're voting for Kamala.
You're voting for Kamala.
I didn't know that the presidency was the sole factor of where you are on the political spectrum. I think it's hilarious.
You can't even answer the question.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people frame it. The whole issue of politics in general, it's a 4-dimensional topic. You only talk about it like it's 2 dimensions, left or right. You miss a lot with that.
Because they work together.
It's ridiculous.
See,
let me ask you
it's
this
not
question.
the only part, and I agree with you. But it's a big fucking part. It's like, hey, you know what? I like sex. And I don't necessarily need to have the vagina. But it's a big part to having sex.
So I just want to ask CEO just real quick.
If you give me Nikki Haley, I would be voting Republican this time. But you give me the person I can't stand the most, who I think is destroying the conservative movement. So that's what you're giving me.
Kamala's going to help the conservative movement.
I want to ask CEO a question.
The conservative movement.
No, I just want to ask CEO a question.
CEO.
So
do you guys know anything outside of talking about the fucking election? Like, do you guys think about anything else? Clearly you don't. Clearly you guys don't. You guys, this is what you guys live off of. This is motherfucking politics. It's such an ugly ass, because I don't know why the fuck are you talking, bitch. Because your mama,
Moderators.
Oh, see, you get off mic to say moderators, but you're not going to answer my question?
What was your question? I couldn't hear overall.
Kamala Harris is better for
I was busy.
Kamala Harris is better for
I was busy changing my PTR for
thank you.
I was busy changing
Kamala Harris is better for
Yes, I am going to respond to that.
I was busy changing my
just one answer, no.
Yeah, so I was busy changing. Yes, I was busy changing my PTR for CEO. CEO, whenever you get a chance, please look at my PTR.
Okay, so here's the answer. A Republican Congress with Kamala Harris is better for conservatives.
That's a
yes,
joke.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's a joke.
Because the reason why is because all the center-right stuff she's discussed, Republican Congress will make sure it passes. We will relive the Clinton years. I like the Clinton years a lot. I would love to see the country relive.
Bro, you're not serious, bro. What are you talking about?
It wasn't even the Clinton years. Like you must reminisce about a whole bunch of different shit than everybody else does in reality. First off, Kamala moving center right. That woman has flip-flopped 180 degrees on every policy she's advocated for. So now all of a sudden you have this magic fairy dust that you sprinkled over yourself and now think that she's going to somehow grant the Republican
with a Republican Congress, Brad, yes.
When she has literally attacked everything Republican since fucking 2019. In fact, she has critiqued anything old-scale Democrats like the Clintons and the Joe Bidens. She has critiqued them nonstop. She has literally attacked everything you are just sat here and espoused. And now you're going to sit there and go, she's going to do great for Republicans. Do you know how deluded, how delusional, how fucking moronic that sounds? You are a...
You ready for my evidence, Brad? You ready for my evidence? Did you watch the Democratic National Convention and see the amount of chants of USA and the American flags? Did you see that, Brad?
Okay, get to your point.
Okay, my point is that what her, and really, this is really Obama's plan, by the way, big picture. What we're trying to do is actually move the party from being way left and unelectable and weird to moving it closer to the center, right? And it is a good thing for America if the Democratic Party gets out of wokeism and transgenderish and all the other stuff. That's good for America. So if you take a Republican Congress and Harris, you will get the left moving to the center. Yes, okay. I think that's great for America.
And CEO, to that point, I would have definitely voted Nikki Haley. Like, she would have made a strong case if she was the front runner.
I don't know about that, but again, the best.
You just don't. I know why you said.
I don't want to deflect off of this off of what he said there, but the mere idea that you think somehow Kamala Harris, out of one, you must not have read any of her 141 pieces of failed legislation she tried to introduce. You must not actually read some of the things that she has done in, I don't know, meetings when she decides to show up, which was only 45% of the time. You must actually not believe in any of the other facts. You just have this thing because you heard a stump speech. No, you don't. No, you actually
I know why you say
this. And the idea that somehow I want to continue a war and progress one into the Middle East again and do it Iran. I don't think it's World War III, but it's going to be a fucking shit show because we're going to do nation building again because we're going to do the whole two-state theory and nation building again.
And we don't have the fucking money.
So again, I'm going to finish my point and then you can sit your bitch ass down and then you can stand up. So again, when we sit there and hear these terms on a foreign policy, I know exactly what she's saying. I know when I hear regime change. We know what I have when I hear, we need to existential threats, and Iran is brought up into the topic over China and Russia. I know about funding our allies. I know all those code words. So does every fucking American on the stage, and they don't want to engage in it. Whether you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel, they still don't want to fucking fund the Middle East wars. They don't want to fund the fucking Russian wars, no matter which side of the argument you're on. And you want to sit there and say, we're going to get this. Yeah, you're right. We're going to do these continued same fucking bullshit and carry it on, which is the majority of the people don't agree with. And you think somehow or another she's going to work with your type of republicanism, which has been wholly rejected by the entire fucking Republican platform. You have no voice. They don't want your bullshit.
Yeah, So, Brad, I think the part you're just missing from your assessment, which I understand it, but is a very simplified one, is that Harris is a chameleon. You know, the main thing she's going to want to do as president, be a 55 to 60% approval president. What does it take to be a 55 to 60? What does it take? What does it take to be a 55 to 60% approval president?
Appealing across the aisle.
Across the aisle, correct.
Okay,
So
Yeah, if I were Harris,
type of appealing across.
So you think she's going to give up her left flank, which is a progressive flank?
Yes.
So again, I let you speak.
Yeah.
Dude, you think she's going to give up the environmentalists, the greenies? Absolutely, drop them in the dust because they were her.
She doesn't have to give that up.
Oh yeah, see, I let you speak. Like, man, did you already put that weave in your head? Are you already there?
What the fuck, Brad?
I have to get the new weave, Brad. I have to get the new weave.
Fucking ad hominem. It makes you sound
pissed off. Yeah, again, like you have this problem, CEO, that let me talk, and then when someone actually talks with you, then you sit there and cut them off. But you'll act like the biggest fucking bitch about it.
Oh, no, you can interrupt
there
me.
and say,
I don't care.
Why is this melting down so quickly? Like, it don't even have to
So,
be all
he's fucking right. Shut the hell up. So, like, you think
blackness of CEO, that's what it is.
So, like, when you watch and you say that the left, the liberal left, she's going to capitulate with Republicans. Republicans aren't going to go through. She's not going to gain the favorability. Republicans aren't magically going to say, you know what, she was okay, she's going to go through. Those days of Clinton getting kind of that high approval rating wasn't really as great as it sounded because the Republicans actually did work behind the scenes that actually helped Clinton, which was fucking ridiculous on their end. We're gone past those days. I would agree with you about Clinton in his terms of popularity, but that's done and over with. Kamala is not going to rise to that occasion. She's not going to get that. She's not going to get Republicans to go on the board. They're not going to confirm her on the Senate because the Senate's going to go red. They're not going to grant her anything for the next 2 years, 4 years, or anything until the midterms, and then they're going to fight her even more on her judicial appointments, which she wants to do. Then she's going to have to figure out how to work with the Congress, which is so heavily split. Even if it does go as Democrat, it's still going to be so narrow. They're going to need it, and no one's going to get through. It's going to be another do-nothing Congress. So all of this fucking grandiose shit that you're trying to sell everybody, it's not going to happen. And the fact that she would abandon all the people who helped give her prominence and helped elect her and Joe Biden and put her over the edge, and him at the last moment, which was crucial for him to win, because he didn't win by sweeping fucking numbers, but put her over the edge with that fucking old retarded man and got him the presidency. You think somehow or another she's going to ignore that and go cater to the bow down and start sucking dick of Republicans? You have a lot of delusion in your head.
I mean, this depends if the Senate wins the majority. If there's a majority Republican Senate, they could just filibuster a Supreme Court nomination like they did for Obama.
No, they can't do it for 4 years. There wouldn't be any ground for that.
Yeah, you said her last 2 years, right?
For fuck's sake.
I know, okay, call her fucking speak, yo. Tell them you
No, she's just as retarded as Monica.
Yo, I would slap the dog shit out of her.
Yo, Gustavo, you was a
That nigga talk deep, but he got a dick in his throat.
So here's the thing with Harris. Here's the thing with Harris. If her campaign was smart, right, and they were asked what they would do different, she would say, there are things I would do different, and there are things I'm going to maintain, right? And then she would focus on foreign policy as a difference and say, I'm going to work with my advisors to figure out how to get us out of this holding pattern of putting money in to support these regimes that aren't getting anywhere with their conflicts, right? And then she would pivot and say, and in order, as a result, we'll be able to focus more on domestic policy, including securing the borders, right? Which they've already done. There's like a 90% decrease in encounters with illegal crossings at the borders already.
That's a 100% increase.
Horrible. Well, let me go through.
So can I please finish?
Yeah,
securing the borders, maintaining the bipartisan investments in infrastructure that we established. Can you please shut the fuck up?
Well, I mean, you do it to me all the time, so you should shut the fuck up. Just take your medicine and suck on it.
Rab, mute your mic. Go ahead, Cole.
So maintaining the bipartisan agreement on infrastructure investment that we had in the first 4 years, that you're going to see the results of in the next 4 years. We're going to continue that level of infrastructure investment. We're going to invest in small businesses because they're the most successful at creating new jobs. But we're also going to invest in innovative industries so that America can pull ahead and have new industries develop as we move forward, rather than trying to claw back jobs that Americans don't even want to work in.
Sounds good.
So there you go.
All right, thank you.
It's really fucking easy.
All right. Biggest problem. She's the one that was championing Zelensky. Donald Trump was the one who actually said what you just said, that her foreign policy should be. She said, no, this guy's an idiot. He's a puppet for Putin, and that we need to win, and he'd do anything and everything to win. So that would look pretty damn stupid, especially when she's the one saying that Zelensky's the Messiah. Yeah, there you go. I just wanted to point out one of the flaws in one of her foreign policy methods. They're about one government, right? About our allies and how we need to do this. We need to sacrifice 300,000 Ukrainian lives. Hey, at least it's not us, right?
All right, can I ask CEO a quick question? So CEO, can you agree with Elisa's part? The issue is, anyways, so CEO, would you agree with this one part at least? So she's been running on, I'm not Joe Biden, I'm not Joe Biden, I'm not Joe Biden. She's saying over and over, I'm not Joe Biden. So when asked the question, what would you do different from Joe Biden? And you say nothing comes to mind, you don't think that was a disqualifying answer as a candidate running?
No, only because the alternative answer would have been worse for her. So that answer seems bad to you. The alternative, where she ends up naming stuff she would have did differently, would have been worse for her.
You know, if you could have answered the question with some political suave, while actually, you know, telling the American people that I want things to be better than they were in the last 4 years. I think what she did was say, basically, like, you're going to get the same thing from what we had in the last 4 years, and you're going to like it, basically. Like, who the hell wants to vote for that shit?
Hold on, Terry, let me respond to CEO. So CEO, the only issue is, it would look bad for the people not voting for her. But for her voters, I think it would look good if she would give them an answer. Only people that would be upset would be the people that are her non-voters of record. If she would have named, I don't know, just one policy or two policies, it would have looked amazing for the people who are voting for her. But the people who are voting for her saw that as crap. We're not happy with the way things are going right now. 76 or some 70-something percent disapproval of current condition. Yeah, those people did not like that answer. That are her voters.
Right. But it's a balancing act, though, right, Gustavo? Like you gotta you don't want to like alienate your own base. You don't want to alienate your own base, but you're trying to balance trying to grab as many people from the middle as possible without, you know, turning off the people who are already rocking with you, or like your voter base, your constituents. Like, so it's like, who's to say that like one outcome would be like, if she answered, actually gave policies that would have a deleterious outcome on her. No,
but it's consistent with her overall message, though. Her consistency would be that they're looking forward to turning the page, and all she has to do is basically what we said earlier, is apply some acknowledgement on things that were short-sighted, and then turn the page and talk about the new challenges that America faces within the next 4 years. So you're acknowledging.
I think I get what he's saying.
Is in every single interview, she doesn't take an L, bro. Even with the stuff that is like plain as day, you took an L. She's like,
I think what Tether is saying is, she's pretty. I'm just saying how it really sounds. What you're saying. What you're saying is she's cornered, and no matter what she says, because she's already, it's about to be checkmate in one move. No matter what she says, she can't turn around and say that, yeah, I'm different, number one, from Biden. Why? Because she's already made the argument that her administration under Biden was the best administration that defeats Donald Trump's administration, right? Correct. So she can't admit that they had failures in her administration. She can't do that. Correct. And then she also
I don't see why. It's just I feel like this.
Bro, you can cut your fingers off to save your hand.
No,
that's not a problem. Hold on, that's not a problem to acknowledge that some of these people that were brought into this country killed girls that were 12 years old, Laken Riley. To say my sympathies for her loss, it comes across as being so out of touch, especially when they're playing clips of this mother, right?
Well, how do you think Vance would have answered that, though? If Vance would go, hey, so J.D. Vance, what are you going to do differently from the Trump administration, or what would Trump say? Hey, President Trump, what are you going to do different this time than you did in your last administration?
Well, the first thing they're going to say is, thank you for the question. It was a good question, right? Because now it gets to the point of saying, we tackled these many challenges, and there's more challenges beyond the horizon. And this is how we're going to attack those challenges.
The only one that's made sense so far on this whole debate has been Louis. Because it's actually...
What about me?
Well, you have.
No.
But Louis made sense because he said it earlier.
Wait, who's Louis? You mean Heather?
Heather. So he even said she should have targeted and continued to target the middle of America, the poor, the typical base of it, the union, the average worker. What did Kamala do? Instead, turned away. Now we're at over 50% that Trump is actually polling from, possibly 45 to 50% of the union vote. She lost that. That's her. That's the DNC in this cycle. That's massive. That's huge. That's unheard of.
How do you lose the union vote as a liberal?
But hold on, let me finish.
She doesn't know her constituents well.
Louis was right on this. She hasn't spoken to those people. She can't say what she should because guess what? Us average Americans realize what you mean when you say you want to tax unrealized gains. Like we don't have much to begin with, and you want to tax that shit. Oh, you want to put price controls? You want the government to start regulating how capitalism is done in this country? No, I'm not really for that because we just got out of a pandemic where you closed 65% of small businesses, affecting almost all of them.
Exactly.
You don't fucking get it. Yeah. So, that's not her base anymore. Her base is Wall Street and hedge funds and stupid, ignorant people. And Louis right. She forgot who the people were that were actually putting the Democrat Party in power.
Yeah, people forget that 92% of wealthy people are first-generation wealthy in America. It's the only place in the world where you can climb the economic ladder so well and so easily. So people, when they hear of taxes for that, hey, everybody's trying to climb this mountain. Don't tax it as I'm just trying to get up there.
Right.
I think is the
That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like you got wealthy and now you're shutting the door behind you so everyone else can't either.
Yeah, I actually like the funny enough, I like Samoa's spin answer. I think that could have worked, saying there's these new issues that are arising, and so we must pivot and take a new approach. I honestly, this is honestly, admittedly, I didn't watch the Fox News interview in its entirety. I watched clips of it, so I'm not sure exactly what point you're referencing, but. Yeah, if she flubbed it as hard as you said, what did she say? She just aligned with her current administration, right?
No, but her strategy was a smart strategy, right? She was trying to she knew that there was an adversarial interview, so she came there late, and she was going to filibuster so that he could only get 4 questions out. That's super smart. If you go back and you watch Brett Baer's interview with Trump, bro, it was way worse than that. That dude had gloves off on Trump, bro. So look it up.
I wanted to say that she doesn't understand her. I got a red bar. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so to give y'all context, what she did was she showed up 15 to 20 minutes late for an interview that was only allowed to be 30 minutes long. So they tried to rush the fuck. They tried to rush the fuck. Hey, only 15 minutes. Come on, man, we gotta go. Hey. That's why he kept saying their people are on me. They're trying to get her off. One more question. There it is here. Hey, we gotta go. The fucking the whole time is here. We gotta go. We gotta wrap it up.
The thing when I make the statement about she doesn't understand her constituent, so her constituent are the group that she's trying to gain their votes. Those are the middle of the road, middle class, working poor, and they might not be the most educated, but they're also not dumb either. These are the people who want results, and so when they're looking at what she is proposing, it just sounds like some sort of Disneyland storyline, or just some nonsense that's not going anywhere. And she's also constantly flip-flopping. She stands with Biden on certain issues like gun control. Why was someone asked her, I think it was Fox News asked her, so do you own any guns? Yes. We're going to take your guns.
And gun controls means like a complete like eradication of individual like gun ownership.
She wanted a gun buyback program.
At first, they're talking about taking assault rifles and things of that sort. She doesn't really know what an assault rifle is,
Wait, though, is that a mandated gun buyback?
Yeah, she said she wants to buy assault rifles, and she said she wanted a gun buyback program. Not only in 2019 when she was running in her own campaign, but even in the last year with Tim Walz. So the whole, I'm a gun owner too thing, that's so stupid. Nobody cares if you want to ban an assault rifle.
Into like what an assault rifle is.
Okay, well, maybe
listen, I'm not really for like banning guns.
Yeah, AR stands for armor light.
If that's something that she stands on, I'm not really for that. But we gotta record like Trump is the first person to actually ban. Set forth gun legislation that banned bump stocks, right? That was a huge thing. That was hugely unpopular amongst his base, right? Like, so it's like certain things, but there was a bump stock switches, like they're wreaking havoc in some of these inner city.
What's a bump stock do, Louis? What does a bump?
It gives you more ammunition.
It pretty much turns like a semi-automatic pistol to
it allows you to fire at a...
Like, I know I don't know anything about guns. That's why I ask. So
it turns a pistol into a fucking mini like Tommy gun.
Oh, okay.
Not that fast.
And it can increase accuracy. So
yeah, so it's like and Trump banned those, but it's like, there's common sense, what was that?
Trump didn't know, but you're right. He did ban those, and then he lost in the Supreme Court. And as far as a bump stock, you can do it with a rubber band and a T-shirt. Like I can literally make one.
Right, but he actually put forth legislation. Like we're scared about Dems. Oh, they're gonna take away our guns. Like your guy actually put forth gun restriction legislation. Whether it was tossed in the Supreme Court, that's fine. It would be right, but still put that forward.
What up, Louis?
Yo, who is that? Who's that?
That's Finley.
Oh, what's good, Finley? What's good, Finley?
So the bump stock is not a gun itself. It's a piece or component that goes on a rifle, and it allows the rifle to shoot multiple rounds by you simply holding your finger in a fixed position, and it will recoil itself against your shoulder or arm, causing the gun to shoot rapidly. That's the stock. You can change out the stock at any time. That has nothing to do with him doing away with the gun itself.
No, he banned bump stocks.
Right, but that's not
he banned a modification of guns.
The modification of the firing.
I really don't understand this because there's companies that sell 3D printers that print metal.
fuck up.
Right? So
That's not anti-gun legislation. What are you trying to say?
Oh, it was. He lost in the Supreme Court. Trump lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost. It's,
I
don't.
You can buy bump stocks today.
No,
Louis is saying that the right side is the side that tried.
Yeah. So Tyler, everybody was against that when he did it. But the difference was, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, that was my point. That was my point.
I know. I'm going to tell you what Kamala said, however. Kamala said, if the House does not agree to a bill in 6 months, I will sign an executive order to make it mandatory. A ban on assault rifles.
Yeah, January 6th will...
Wait, and she wanted to implement a mandatory buyback program, which actually involved prison sentences if you didn't turn it in, which then goes to the coalition.
That's going to start a civil war, though, yeah.
Hold on, Io. You've got 400 million weapons out there. I don't know how many ARs. I honestly don't know. I don't know how many platforms that people in the Democrat Party would consider an assault rifle, which makes no fucking sense because clearly we've heard one libtard say it allows you to add more ammunition, which isn't true. So they don't even know firearms themselves. I just don't see how they could pass something like that. And that would be a dangerous setup for not only just you and I. Imagine your neighbor having something and gets in a quarrel with the police and fires. Those rounds are coming your way. We'll have those issues going down. They'll fight. People will fight. This isn't going to go easy.
This isn't the first gun modification that has been made illegal. I'm sharing a link in the chat for others that have been made illegal. So, bringing up the bump stock, it's not like it's the first time. It was just, for public safety.
The other thing is, buyback programs, first of all, ARs are not assault rifles, right? I fire ARs all the time. Secondly, I mistakenly said the wrong thing for bump stocks.
The word AR.
Third, no, it doesn't. It's Armalite.
Armalite.
Oh my God.
Armalite, yeah.
Anyway.
I'm a whole line with Stroller.
Yeah, on my assault rifle incorporated. I used to sell out murder cardboard boxes. Anyway, and finally, the people that benefit from buyback programs the most are people that have guns in their house from their kids or their deceased spouses have left all these guns in their house that they need to get rid of. And sure, I want grandma selling the fucking guns back to the government rather than just selling them to anybody that comes by off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, but what Dope is saying is that it's mandated, and I'm not sure what that means.
Haven't resulted in what Cora just did, and all the taxpayer money went for was broken fucking firearms. Shit that didn't have stocks, shit you wouldn't fire. It was rusted out. It was hollowed. These were this shit was I wouldn't even get it too. Yeah, right. That shit was gonna be a fucking hand cannon that blew your arm off.
Yeah, go ahead.
They found shit that people had, they were bringing back fucking shit from World War II. They were here's a bayonet. They were handing this shit in. They ended up paying for crap. Not all the good guns went out there. And then you had a bunch of people who walked over to Walmart, bought a fucking shotgun, and then walked to the buyback program and said, here you go, can I have my money? Because they bought the gun with a stolen credit card, went over there, got the cash from the cops, and went on their way. And then they were being arrested 3 years later. It was so ridiculously dumb that they did this shit. Or they were buying stolen guns that had been reported stolen. They didn't get to check it because they were stolen from other states. Or they had no idea where these guns came from. Because, again, you can't track these. And, again, there's too many. So, a mandatory buyback program means you're going to send police into someone's home and say, hey, we're aware that you filed the NICS report. You probably have firearms. We are coming in to search your home and check for firearms. How's that going to go over in America? How many violations of the Constitution are going to be there?
I think that's the sixth, right? That's the Sixth Amendment broken, and that's going to cause a war. Right there.
If you're talking unreasonable search and seizure, that's the Fourth Amendment. Second Amendment is the right to bear arms.
No. So, fourth? What's the sixth?
Oh, the sixth is some ridiculous one that nobody even keeps track of. It either
look it up.
Wasn't it right?
Yeah.
Speed trial?
No, that's
no, that's the 6th. That's the 6th. The 6th is the right to speedy and public.
Damn, Cora.
That's the biggest bullshit one ever, though. That one's like, hey, if you don't get your shit prosecuted in 2 years, you're free to go.
Pockets, I'm so damn proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Right, so, yeah, you're right. So, second.
Wait. Brad, I'm the one who said
violation.
All right, I'm proud of you too, Knowledge.
Yeah, fuck you.
And I'm sure the 6th will violate because she's given an executive order in order to prosecute and throw your ass in prison.
What did I walk in? What conversation I walk in?
If it's a mandated law, unfortunately, it wouldn't violate any rights. That's what sucks.
Actually,
Brad was giving pockets all of my. Brad was giving pockets all of my.
No, to be fair, I love both of my children, Knowledge and Pockets. I have a son and daughter on Clubhouse as well as Paul. I have multiple kids, and I appreciate all my kids and their contributions. And I was just really proud of,
Pulp, we have a daddy.
Pockets. And then,
finally.
And Knowledge, I was really proud of you, my son, because, you got to carry my legacy when I die.
Whoever's Galaxy's dad is, tell him to put some fucking pants.
He's insane.
I've been trying to. Unfortunately, my son.
I would never play that nigga.
My Galaxy's picture scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
His mama.
The creepy thing is that is really him. You can tell from the tattoo. That's fucking him. It's great.
No. See, the PTR is gonna give me nightmares.
What, Galaxy, really?
So what I'm saying is she flip-flops too much, and the middle of the road they see it, and that's the reason why she's not gaining any traction, because they recognize this shit. Like, she's just full of shit. Even other people are calling her Chameleon. They're calling her Chameleon Harris.
That's true, and that's why she's slumping. Like, for all the deliberately and all the talk, she's 6 points ahead of the national polls, and then you kind of start going through the numbers, and you're like, oh, but you have a plus minus error rate of 8%. Okay, that's a great poll. Like, that's fucking really high, boys and girls. And I'm sitting here watching, and Fox News does it too. And I'm sitting here going, how out of whack are the polls? Because when she came down the escalator on her fucking, little son, the polls were like, oh, it's plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4. Now the polls are way out of whack. They're down plus or minus 6, plus or minus 7, plus or minus 8, plus or minus 10. I'm sitting here going, something's wrong with the Harris campaign. They can't fucking outright say it or something. It just seems really weird. Weird. Facing a Dukakis moment. Like, this may be a Dukakis run for the Democrats.
Dukakis.
Like a burner run?
Dukakis.
Like a burn run? They're just burn.
Correct. I think this is because there's let's be honest. Prior to Kamala coming down, nobody liked her. Nobody wanted to work with her. She wasn't effective anywhere. She wasn't even liked in the Senate. Like,
she took that dick though.
Oh, she could. Yeah, she could. I mean, she was useful, but I mean, she just wasn't popular. Her constituency, she wasn't.
That mouth was miracles.
But I mean, all of a sudden now you got Nancy Pelosi saying, I've worked with her, she's so great. And you've heard Nancy Pelosi's interviews. I was waiting for Joe Biden to make the right decision, meaning Joe Biden was doing what Nancy Pelosi told him. This is a burner candidate. They don't like her, and they're just trying to figure out how to get rid of Biden, which they did, and then they're going to get rid of Kamala.
No, he keeps popping back up, though.
Yeah, he's fucking up her campaign more. I know, we're CEO.
Joe Biden be trolling.
Yeah, she's
You're still here? The show's over. Go home. The show is over. Go home. Do something with your life. Don't just sit around here watching me live stream myself in my underpants. You've got bigger objectives, bigger obstacles to accomplish than this biggest dickus.
That's Ruth Bader Ginsburg did not do the right thing. She should have said it. She should step down. Yeah.
Hey, did anybody? I've been gone for a couple days. Did anybody discuss Donald Trump and McDonald's and why he decided to do this little gaffe?
Yeah, because Kamala said she worked at McDonald's and never did.
Yeah, Kamala said she was.
That whole thing was a sham, you know. Like that was all like actors.
Obviously.
You
can't just have the president serving average.
If you want to be authentic, hey, I want some supplies. Little stuff over out. Like
the dude had 2 assassination attempts, bro. He's not going to
Why do folks think Kamala lied about working at McDonald's? Like, who flexes like that? That's not a flex.
At this point, too,
She was pandering. At least
that's still more than what the fuck she done did.
Yeah, true. Trump did work at McDonald's.
Hold on. Who said that? Who thinks
that's the headline he wanted?
Who actually thinks she worked at McDonald's?
I do. Like, who? Why would she lie about that? Like,
okay.
It's pandering. It's pandering.
I'll tell you why.
That's not a flex.
I'll tell you why. Yes, it is. It's like
how's it a flex?
Came from the slums.
It's a flex to poor people.
I came from the slums. I did it.
She's been telling this lie to poor people since she first got involved.
Yes.
Wait.
How do y'all know she didn't work there?
I was in the kitchen with them.
How do y'all know she didn't work there?
I was in the trenches. And I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how.
I understand why it's a flex. How do y'all know?
Anyway, I'll tell you how. So they contacted.
Are you saying you have evidence that she didn't work? Are you saying she didn't? Like, you know for a fact that she didn't work and she's just like...
Let Knowledge explain. Knowledge about to explain.
Who is there? Don't say Candace Owens.
I'm just trying to get clarity.
No, people have looked at the supposed town where she worked at McDonald's. They looked at the McDonald's there. They looked at
the media or just regular people?
The people who actually looked into this. Like, it's not even... If you want to look into the actual details,
wait. Actually, no, don't. Can you run down?
It's the same way. It's the same way you could go into people who say, "Oh, Bill Clinton did this in his fucking college years," because there's people who actually know this stuff.
Like McDonald's organization.
How would you go about
exactly? It's
Social Security.
Exactly.
That's not public information.
How would you go about finding out if I worked for
my employee history is not public information?
Chester, Pennsylvania, in 2000.
Hold on. They can ask for her.
Finley, I can check everybody's employment history if I have your first and last name and your town that you're in, and then I can start. I do it all the time.
Well, Brad, McDonald's actually came out and made a statement saying they don't have records going back that far.
That part too also hurts.
But they don't have.
So unless you have a photo.
Yeah, they literally made a statement. McDonald's, yeah.
Unless you have a McDonald's uniform.
So it's inconclusive. Like what you're saying is that.
No, they're saying she didn't work there.
Yeah, they're saying they have no record of her working there. They can't see any.
Wait, you're saying they don't have records that go back that far, or they don't have records?
No, they don't have a record of her employment.
No, it says, hold on, I'll read the statement. Earlier today, former President Trump visited a McDonald's restaurant in Pennsylvania following a request made to our local franchise. As we've seen, our brand has been a fixture of conversation this election cycle. McDonald's does not endorse candidates for elected office. We are not red or blue. We are golden. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me see.
Like Donald Trump's hair.
None of that says that she didn't work there.
It just says, while we in our franchise don't have records for all positions dating back to the early 80s, what makes 1 in 8 so powerful is the shared experience so many Americans have.
So they don't have records going back to where she would have been working.
That's what I said. I said it doesn't say that she doesn't work there or not.
Anyone who's saying that they can confirm or deny, like anyone who's saying either way is just like bull.
When you can't produce the records,
all you could do is take her for her word or think she's lying.
They contacted her family. They contacted people who went to school with her. They contacted everybody.
Who is they?
already.
No.
Yeah. Scopes. It was Scopes.
This is gonna get
Scopes.
Yeah, one of her family friends recalls Kamala Harris's mother talked about her working at McDonald's.
Wait a second, Mr. Finley. Mr. Finley, I'll tell you something, Mr. Finley. I brought in Snopes one time, like say that how Candace Owens had like her investigation was wrong, and they all like shit me out. Like they said like Snopes was not like right all the time.
An idiotic source to do it,
but now Snopes is like the proof of the golden proof of truth.
It's still a shit fucking rag organization. It's only partially. I'm saying it's not. I'm talking for a minute and listen. So there's been a couple things that people have been trying to find out with Kamala. They've been trying to find out the McDonald's comment, so like to see if that was just pandering, which the left does it to Trump all the time, and you catch him on shit, and then you guys
that's fine.
But when
deep dive,
Kamala gets it, she's like, oh no, you guys are just fucking liars. And
it was reported.
The other thing is they've been trying to find out which big prosecution case that Kamala has gone through. So some of the inferences, 2 cases that she has said, I prosecuted these, weren't actually hers. So they're trying to dig up her case files to find out where she actually argued, litigated in front of a jury, and actually prosecuted somebody. And they can't find them. There's like 8 so far, and she's not even the lead prosecutor on it. So they're going,
by the way, she failed the bar.
Well, yeah, she failed it, but a lot of people fail the bar. I'm not going to... But it's like people failing pilot's license and then getting it again, and then all of a sudden they work for Spirit Airlines. So when you get these kind of things going through and these inconsistencies, and she's saying she did this, but then you find out no, that's something there. It's kind of like Joe Biden going in and rescuing Nelson Mandela. Didn't fucking happen. Hillary Clinton being under fire and going into a war zone. Trump's the only president in recent history to actually go ahead and do that, technically. Hillary Clinton didn't do that shit. And Snoops is still a piece of shit ragtag organization.
I still haven't heard anything that says that Kamala didn't work at McDonald's.
Holy fucking Christ. Show me where she did. She said it. She made the claim.
Right.
Show me that bitch in a McDonald's uniform.
That doesn't.
Show me that bitch in a fucking McDonald's uniform turning the fry grease.
One of my first jobs was the YMCA, and I don't have any pictures in the YMCA.
Wait, don't tell me you were the Native American guy.
But what I'm saying, I certainly worked for the YMCA. I would have been a police officer, to be clear.
No, you look like you might have been the one wearing the assless chaps. Like going, come on, giddy up. Have to fuck with you today, Finley.
It's all good. It's all good, Brad. You still my guy, man.
Oh, now you from Tennessee? You from Memphis now? Talking about some Maine?
Maine? I thought that was a southern thing. I know Tennessee.
Someone made a tweet saying Trump has multiple baby moms, got shot at twice, and worked at McDonald's. He's getting blacker every day.
100%. And the
I
man
was
is
working at McDonald's
always
black,
That was pretty
I
funny.
don't get that
That was
one.
pretty funny.
and all of his ops be trying to kill him. Yep, he's black.
It's a joke, Mr. Finley.
You know, Finley don't like all them some of them stereotypes.
Oh, get over it.
Says the guy wearing a fucking cowboy outfit who flies planes. Come on, dude.
That ain't no black stereotype, Brad.
I'm just saying, you said you didn't like stereotypes.
I said I don't like some of them black stereotypes. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, some of them.
Yeah, I don't fit none of them. I don't fit none of them black
stereotypes either. I watch.
Then why are you hollering?
Cause I'm black.
But you're not those stereotypes. So
I said I don't like some of them black stereotypes. Don't put us all in them boxes.
I'm not. I'm just saying, if a shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it.
It do fit. They saying it's black. I'm black.
Oh my God.
Click my picture again.
I'm rare, Finley. Let's be a little. Let's be on the level. You're medium rare. Like, yeah, you're not quite rare, but you're not quite black and well done. You're just not there.
Next topic, you guys are boring me.
I feel like I gotta walk on eggshells now.
Did you see that ad with the Kamala ad where they popped the balloons? The black dude went on the dating show and they popped the balloons because he wasn't going to vote.
Put it in the chat. I want to see.
That shit was ridiculous. The man commercial? Did you guys see the actual man commercial? What they thought masculinity is in America? Like,
yeah, I saw that shit. Yeah.
Ryan, did you see that shit?
It's basically insulting men, and they don't even know what a man is.
The guy at the end saying, "I'm more masculine than all those basically insulting Republican, legs crossed, his hands held like fucking Miss Scarlett Johansson's fucking school of etiquette for young ladies." Like literally that.
No man is gonna think that's more
man. What should I search for, Brad? What should I search for? I haven't seen this.
I'll get the YouTube. I'll find it.
Sorry, I keep saying she does not understand her constituent. The working poor, she doesn't know that man. She has no idea. She's never.
None of them know the working poor. To be honest, most of them don't know the working poor.
No, I'm talking about the blue collar male, the stereotypical black man.
Most of them don't know the working poor.
They got to go to McDonald's once, and now they know that they're the working class.
Not too much on stereotypes.
Most of them don't know the working poor, right? Especially a billionaire. He freaking has no clue. This dude has never been poor a day in his life.
She endorses in advertising something.
I shouldn't say poor, middle class. He hasn't even been middle class then. He's been wealthy since he came out the womb.
Maybe she thought it would be funny, and she could probably get them to laugh and be like, "Haha, yeah, that's funny. I'll vote for her." That was kind of funny. Me being seen like that, but it did. I don't think it got the reaction that she wanted. I wouldn't have never endorsed that shit because it made it look like, oh, you guys are not real men because you're not feminine like the liberal men are, the faggots.
You want to know who's the working poor that he do know, Philly?
Who?
The rappers.
The rappers ain't working poor.
Yeah, them are his working poors.
Yeah, poor compared to him.
Yeah.
Most people are poor compared to him, though.
Okay.
I mean, but nobody cares. Nobody cares that Trump is not poor because he's never acted like he's been poor. Everybody knows he's a rich playboy.
But dope.
Cheating on his wife.
But dope. Kamala has big girl freaking middle class. That's a fact whether the women accept it or not.
Okay, define middle class. If you see the house she grew up in, bro,
certainly not being born of wealth with a silver spoon in your mouth, right?
Gated community in the
It was a house. It was a house that's currently valued at $3 million in fucking Canada.
And she's in Canada.
Okay, there's houses. There's regular houses in New York that are worth freaking $3 million.
No. If you see it, bro. It's not a regular thing.
I've seen $2 million.
Like, do you know where it's at in Canada?
Like British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia.
Yeah, it's not unusual for like just a regular old street to be worth $3 million Canadian.
Yeah, it's just like property.
Tell them about the rich Jew she married, Lion.
Absolutely.
Can I know where the house is?
Wait. No inflation. That's actually a hard thing to do.
Right, we know.
No inflation, essentially no inflation. And the best, now we have inflation that's killing everybody. Kamala's inflation has already cost a typical family over $30,000 in higher prices. And now she wants to raise the typical family's taxes by nearly $3,000 a year. Take a look at this.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
That means he's not doing away with the IRS.
And by the way, she wants to confiscate.
He's going to modify the IRS.
The tax queen is also demanding a shocking 33% tax hike on all domestic production, along with the largest capital gains tax hike in history. Think of this. They want to raise your taxes to a level that you haven't seen before, and they're running on this platform, okay? In all of my years, I've never seen anybody running for office where we will raise your taxes. They say they're going to raise your taxes. You're going to lose all your companies because they go to other places. You know, it's very simple. You're going to tax them out of the market. They're going to go to other places. That goes your job. By contrast, I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses. And very importantly, there will be no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And very important for your seniors, no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. Right?
None of these people pay taxes on their
I
Social
will
Security.
make interest on car loans. This is something, they called me up from Wall Street, the most brilliant people. They called me up. Where did you think of that? Sounds simple, right? But it's not so simple. I always say it's like the paperclip. You know, some guy, 129 years ago, he came up, he took a little piece of stuff, and he went away. All of a sudden, he has the paperclip. He made a fortune. People look at it, they say, why didn't I think of that? This is the same thing. I will make interest on car loans fully tax deductible because affording a car is essential to restoring the American dream, and it'll be great for Detroit and South Carolina, North Carolina. It'll be great for a lot of states, but it will. I mean, a lot of people are going to buy cars when you do that, and we want them to buy them only in this country. We're not interested in buying cars from other countries. Do we agree? We want to buy them. You'll even buy them if they're made in South Carolina. Do you agree? All right, we'll make them in North Carolina. Now, we want to get them from Detroit because Michigan has suffered. They've lost like 70% of their car. And by the way, with all those, you heard the stat, 50,000, 60,000 manufacturing jobs wiped out last month. We are just doing so badly as a country. We don't know it. We're a nation in decline. We're a nation in decline, and I hate to say it. And you know, I didn't have to do this. I had a lot of options. I could have been on a beautiful beach someplace.
This guy's always talking about how his option could have been at the beach.
But I watched what was happening after that ridiculous election, where I got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country. But the good side of that is 15 days. We've been waiting a long time for this. 15 days.
L'chaim.
Disgraceful. It's a disgrace. But I watched how bad they were doing. They were destroying this country step by step. They were destroying it. We would have had no war with Ukraine, with Russia.